MLB on TuneIn Live on demand.
Mr. Chicago Baseball joins us. Bruce Levine from 670 The Score. Long time Chicago baseball guy. Bruce, Holden, Kushner, Geoff, Blum. How are you tonight?
Hey, take it easy with that long time stuff.
Long time. Hey. All right, no. Longer than a short amount of time. You've been doing this a long time. You've seen a lot of deals up there in Chicago. How big is this one, Bruce?
Well, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a huge deal because it's a statement, and the statement is that when you look at the Chicago Cubs and you look at the body of work and the people they put together, you look at them and you say, well, what is this missing? Can we imagine the Chicago Cubs in the seventh game of the World Series with Pedro Strop or Hector Rondon on the mound closing out Game 7 in a 2-1 game? And although those are very good pitchers and guys that possibly could get it done, the whole story changes when you say we have Aroldis Chapman on the mound in Game 7 of the World Series. So I think that's the big statement that's made here, and I think everybody visualizes that this is one of the final steps that they need to take to try to further their chances to go deep in the playoffs.
Good talking with you again, Bruce, and I agree with you in the fact that Aroldis Chapman definitely is that shutdown closer that they needed. Do you feel that they gave up a little too much for a temporary fix, or are they talking to Aroldis maybe possibly more in the future?
No, I mean, look, he's only 3 months away, Geoff, from being a free agent, and this type of free agent, that throws 103 and 105 miles an hour. Why wouldn't you want a chance to talk to all 30 teams 3 months from now, rather than settling on just what the Cubs might give you? Now, the nice thing for the Cubs is he takes them deep into the playoffs. They win a pennant or they win the World Series with them, and then they have a whole maybe 2 to 3 weeks before free agency pops in, where they're the only team that they can talk to them. So you have that opportunity to sign him before anyone else does. But, in reality, Chapman, he does what he always does, and he pitches lights out the rest of the year. He's going to want to talk to all 30 teams. I don't think they gave up too much. They gave up a very good-looking young shortstop who's going to be either the Yankees shortstop or second baseman in 2 years from now. But they have duplications in that. They have Russell, who's an all-star shortstop. They have Baez, who could be starting at shortstop for 15 or 20 other teams. They are well fortified as far as middle infielders go. So that wasn't a big deal for them to let him go. He's a fine-looking guy, a prospect, and he's going to do really well. But you have to give something to get something. McKinney, you don't know, left-handed bat. He may be a pull hitter in Yankee Stadium and might be a home run hitter. We don't know that. Getting Warren back there's a comfort zone for him, being a bullpen guy or a spot starter for them. He did a great job last year in the first 7 weeks of the season being a starting pitcher for them. And the other guy is just a guy. There's not a great tag on him. So I think the Cubs traded from depth in their organization, and I don't think they're done yet. I think they're going to take another step further, maybe look for another starting pitcher as well as a left-handed bat to kind of make up for the fact that Hayward hasn't gotten the job done this year, and they lost Schwarber the third game of the season.
Bruce Levine, 670 The Score, talks Cubs and Sox. All my family and my friends back in Chicago. This is the first time I've ever heard them not pessimistic. Do you sense that the fan base has really shed some of the pessimism, or is it still, the other shoe is going to drop?
Well, it's still the Cubs thing, and until they win or go to the World Series at least, it's gonna be hanging out there. It always is. But the way they built the system up here and the young players, the sustainable, young-looking position players, you feel confident that this could be a team with a lot of revenue resources to go to the playoffs maybe 8 out of 10 times or 7 out of 10 times over the next 10 years. You want to run like the Red Sox had. You want to run like the Yankees had. You want to run like the Atlanta Braves had. If you do that, your fan base is going to be really happy. Sure, they want to win a World Series, but Geoff can tell you from all the years that he played, finally getting there with the White Sox, it's a really hard thing to do, to just win a World Series. Hard enough to get there and very difficult to win. So all you can do as an organization is build up your organization, make it useful, have a controllable asset for a long period of time. Hope your owner will spend some money, and if he does, and this owner will, then you have a chance to be good.
Bruce, I appreciate you bringing up 2005. We know it takes a pretty special team to get to the World Series, let alone win it. And I appreciate you bringing that up. That's good stuff. But as good as the Cubs are going right now, and as good as the Cubs are at making moves, there is a team on the South Side that is not having a good week. Could you please explain to us what exactly happened with Chris Sale, and is he mentally stable enough to come back?
Yeah, he's mentally stable. Now, he's just wound really tight. This is a terrific competitor. He's a terrific person. He's a great teammate, but he's a left-handed pitcher. Do I need to say much more?
Very good point.
He's a left-handed pitcher, and look, here's some of the things he's done over his short career since 2010. He wanted to fight Victor Martinez and his brother because he insisted that Victor Martinez's brother had the binoculars on him, and they were tipping his pitches to Victor. Like Victor Martinez really needs any help, but okay. So he wanted to fight them. Last year, the White Sox and the Royals had a fight on the field. He got kicked out of the game. He immediately goes down the tunnel to the other team's clubhouse and tries to get in and fight all 25 guys. Okay. Wasn't able to do that. Probably wouldn't have been pretty for him. He's been sent home by Robin Ventura a few times when they disagreed. But is there any of the 30 teams in baseball that wouldn't want Chris Sale on the mound for you, pitching big games in August and September, big games in October, big games in the World Series? No. So I don't think his reputation has hurt him yet. He's left-handed. He does some goofy things. But this is a guy that will continue to be a huge asset for the White Sox or somebody else. They will listen for offers for Chris Sale now, and they've said it. They will listen for offers for anybody that they have. But you're going to have to pay a king's ransom to get Chris Sale. He's under one of the more favorable contracts in baseball. If you can imagine, over the next 3 years, they'll make a total of $39 million. That is one-third of Kershaw, one-third of Scherzer, one-third of Greinke's contract. 3 years control of that. So it's a double whammy. If you trade for him, you get a great economic deal, and you get one of the top 2 or 3 pitchers in baseball. White Sox are going to want a lot for him, and if they don't hear it, they'll keep him, because you can look a long time. You can build your organization up a long time, and for 10 years, you might not find another power pitcher from the left side like Chris Sale.
Bruce Levine, 670 The Score. Lastly for you, Bruce, we do have a game tonight, the Cubs and the White Sox, believe it or not. You got Arrieta and Miguel Gonzalez. Is this one of those games, one of these series where you just throw the records out because the two teams, and the two fan bases at least, don't really like each other?
Yeah, it has a playoff atmosphere, and it really does. And, there is a lot of hate. It used to be the White Sox fans hated the Cub fans, and the Cub fans were indifferent to White Sox fans. But once the White Sox and Geoff won a World Series in 2005, all of that changed, because the Cub fans began to be jealous of the fact that the White Sox had actually won a World Series in the last 100 years. And that changed everything. And now there is a little bit more animosity from the north side going to the south side. But it's always fun. 4-night games, there's going to be some drinking going on. There's going to be some fist fights in the stands. That always occurs. So extra security. But usually it's all good-natured, and it's just a great rivalry. It's going to be fun to watch. And before I leave, I have to tell you that I was a reporter way back 100 years ago when Geoff Blum actually hit a home run from both sides of the plate against the Chicago Cubs. So I needed to let you know that.
Bruce, the check's in the mail, man.
Okay, it was a glorious day, and you had a lot more glorious days down the road. Great talking to you guys, okay? Have a great night.
Thanks for joining us, Bruce. Take care, man.
All right, great stuff there from Bruce Levine, 670 to the Score.
It's MLB on TuneIn Live, weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in. Listen like you mean it.